Hello everyone, Splash W here. I decided to do another update, and first of all, I just want to say that I'm going to take a holiday break from December 20th to January the 5th. So during this time, it won't be much as any making of love stories or true friend stories, but if you have seen or noticed that there are stories that has been popping up on my channel during the break. Well, that is the stories that I had or has already made in the past, which I had to delete from my channel because they were showing up some copyright message. So that is only those videos that I only will to do to make. And I might be even popping out maybe less, maybe one or twice or two videos per day, something. And there were at least around 40 videos that, if I counted right, that I will be uploading on my channel during the break. But even though there will be even a special video on Christmas, it's a story that I recently had made by the name A Horsewarming Miracle. And I can only tell that it's a Spike rarity themed. All I can say that the only detail is I can say that Spike is planning to give Rarity something special for holidays gift. But I want not much details in that. And also, and for the next year, and well, if I had mentioned in the past few months that I might do some other um, reviews of the past seasons, well, I will be starting around sometimes next year, probably sometimes in January on from season 1 and from onwards up to season 9. But I won't do any reviews of those episodes that I had already made. But from that point, I know that there are many others who had been asked, when will my story to be out? Well, you have to at least know that there are hundreds of stories in my only in my email, around 800 from my girlfriend have been sending me. But that's not all. Since that I also looked at recently on Therapy Bureau, which were surprising enough, there were around 168,000 stores of shipping. But consider from those were compared with like Twilight with Fluttershy, or no, maybe it's like Shining Armor with Twilight, which is much very wrong, and so very much unusually different stories like Variety with Tom the Rock, Twilight with a book. I mean, seriously, Twilight with a book. That was surprising. But also, during this break, like I said, I won't do any stories that to be up on my channel. Only those stories that has been made, but I had to remove them. But they will be back on my channel eventually, all of them. And if you did see my sneak peek of Discord Secret Dollar, I can also inform that the sequence of my reading, that is not in entirely order how the text will appear. I only recorded only parts of this text on the first chapter. And I can also inform I have been recently recorded the first chapter 1 of the entire series, and I also have been working on the second chapter. But I cannot say how many chapters there will be in this series because I haven't really not even decided yet. And I know that many wonders who is the going to be the daughter and what her name is or how she looks like. Well, I won't even reveal her to as her true self, how she looks like, not yet. But I can do reveal the name of Discord and Luna's daughter, and that is River Knight. River Knight is the name. And I won't give out much more details about the second chapter or the first one because, as I said, this is a work in progress. And I really don't know how many chapters there will be in this one. My girlfriend thought maybe I could do at least 10 as I did in my previous series. And and also when that series is finished is complete, I will focus on my girlfriend's series that she had made for me, which technically I made that came up with the idea for the story, but she was the one who wanted to um, write the story, which I am really honored to her to even proud that she wanted to do that. But when that particular series will be to be worked on, I cannot even say not for now because there is only I think 3 to 4 chapters has been complete yet for the fourth story, but I don't even know how many chapters she had in mind to do. It could be from 8 to 10 or perhaps even more. Only time can tell though how many chapters will be in that story. I will also continue on, of course, the love stories and future stories, and even for reference, I did actually have. If you have noticed, for the past few months, I have been only worked on a few stories that seems only be using 2 pictures, like for example, Discord with Big Mac as Oliver that. You see, I haven't even really found much so many good stories that I had to work on. Since I had been placed many of my own stories that I had in mind on the site for perhaps from weeks to almost a few months, or perhaps almost a year. I had one story in mind a while back about Apple Bloom, and Sakura. And first, before you saying that is much very wrong, pretty please understood. I only found the story, and I can tell about the story that Apple Bloom she realized her feelings towards Sakura while she is very still at probably in her maybe I don't know how old she is right in the show itself, and at the end, well, in the first 2 seconds. Well, anyways, but if I had to say she is maybe like 13 or 12 years old when she realized her feelings towards her friend Sakura. But it doesn't even it takes her several years before she even reveals her true feelings for Sakura. Maybe now she's in her 20s when she reveals her feelings for her. And you may also maybe wonder how long the story will be. Well, I can tell. Most of the stories I do usually make are from between maybe 15 to around 20 minutes long, but this one will be 40 minutes long. It went a 5 more minutes longer than I originally had them made for, but I am proud to announce that that story is complete. But when that particular story will be out, that is up to my girlfriend because she makes the schedule when the stories are to be uploaded on my channel. At least for now, that is all about that particular story and many others. And I know that many wonders when your story will be out. Just have patience. You have no idea how much time it takes to make just make one story. Sometimes I may have some if I say worked on a story and then something pops out that something going to happen because I can't say what's going to happen in the next few days after that. I mean, if one has started recently would start working on a story, I don't know what the world or the time has been throwing at me. Because the next day I may have thought maybe I was going to work maybe for an hour or two on a story and perhaps complete it and then work on the next one. But then who knows? My family maybe needs my help for something. And now, particularly now when there is Christmas time around soon, and and since the holiday is getting closer for each single day, which makes me to start to have the break, which I mentioned earlier in the video. I only take that short break, but I might take some other breaks in maybe further next, sometimes maybe earlier next year. Depends from at least from what I can. Well, at least from what time if I feel overstressed or tired from work or something. Who knows? I'm just plodding on. But anyways, just want to say that many of my stories that hasn't been made yet, they will be out. And to make sure that all of you completely understands, it just takes time to make just one story. If I make just an artist story, easy. That takes maybe less than half hour to make record. But if I had to go to do another regular with many pictures and text and music, that can take a little bit longer, depending on from what story it is and from what particular characters they are, and some others. But believe me, I just want to make everyone happy when the stories are out. Even if it takes just a bit longer to make them. But I just also want to mention that many of my fans have been wondering when will I make some other maybe like a live stream on my channel? Because a while back someone asked me why don't you do a live stream record reading a love story for us live? Well, that was actually something that I didn't even thought about. I had to be honest with that. But who knows? Maybe I could do that maybe someday in the future. At the moment, I don't know because, first of all, I have no idea um, how to do live streams, and from what the perspective that since I can be interrupted perhaps mid stories by my parents or something, or maybe something else. So if I would have to do a live stream, it would probably to be happen when I live on my own, which I really hope for sometimes next year. So until then, live streams are just an idea. And yeah, I won't keep this recording much longer because it's almost 14 15 minutes long, which is normally I wouldn't do. Sorry. But anyways, like I said, a break between December 20th to January the 5th, and there will be some other stories that I had been made will be up on my channel from time to time during the break. And also a Christmas special story to be up on my channel on Christmas Day. Or at least on Christmas. And it isn't a very long story. I have to mention that. It is only about 8 minutes long, so just just wait for the story to be out. And also about that the stories that I actually had removed and they were later back. You see, since Hasbro did notice that I used official pictures from the series, from the show itself, of the characters. So I decided maybe that is not worth to do that. I mean, deleting the stories completely, entirely, no. So I decided just to take the recordings of the story, save down, and use fan-made pictures of those particular characters from each story. That is the only way for me to make sure the stories will be safe, because then Hasbro cannot um, claim that the pictures are from the show itself as officially. Because if they're fan-made pictures, Hasbro cannot even claim that, because that is someone else who made them. And I don't know if that even remotely a possibility, but who knows. But I also have to mention there might be some other copyright messages over the years from now on. Who knows, maybe? Since I had made around 400 stories, which now is around nearly 380, perhaps 390 or something. But yeah, that's all I want to say. And once again, thanks for everyone who's been listening so this far. And I am sorry if this update video were much longer than I usually do them on, but this was actually very much very important information that I had to inform you all. But yeah, and for one last thing, happy holidays and happy new year. And I hope everyone has a very much a happy Christmas, happy Hanukkah, and Kwanzaa, or any other holidays you celebrate. And once again, this is Switch Diablo, over and out. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year!